Terawan Saranai Sielu Denatama. Good evening all. Namo Buddhaya. Very warm welcome to our Saturday evening regular Dhammadana program. Perhaps today is a special day. Hope you can think of why. Anybody can think of why it is a special day today? So today we have this regular program, Saturday evening, Dhammadana blessing program. Today is special because it's the beginning of our Vesak month, Buddha month. So this is the month that we celebrate the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and also passing away. So it's a Vesak month. So coincidentally, we are very lucky to have the 1st of May today being fall onto a Saturday so that we can start with the very good special blessing program. From today onwards for 25 days. Full moon day falls on 23rd, 24th. So you can practice 25 days of special meritorious activities to mark this Vesak month. So Vesak month is a very special month for all of us.
It's also Labor Day.
So conventionally, 1st of May is also regarded as a Labor Day. But most important thing for us is this Buddhist culture. And we need to line up in practice for 25 days forward to celebrate the Lord Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and passing away. Today, we have a sponsor to support this Dhammadana and gain the highest merits. Today, the Dhammadana is being sponsored by Mrs. Chandra Kumari Madagama, son Chamat, and also son Gihan, daughter-in-law Kavita, and grandson Aryan and family. They would like to remember their beloved mother, their grandmother, and also their great-grandmother who passed away exactly a month ago in Sri Lanka, who lived up to 91 years, which is a great age, and was very mindful about the life and did a lot of meritorious activities. Lived near to the Temple of Truth in Kandy, and had led a very special meritorious life. So we take this opportunity to remember the loving mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, Mrs. Punchi Kumari Ulupane, on this special day of 1st of May, Saturday Dhammadana program, and transfer the merits to loving mother, loving grandmother, and also great-grandmother to gain the highest merits, to understand the Four Noble Truths, and also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Just to make it correct, she lived up to 96 years old. She had 6 children, and she had 9 grandchildren, and grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, 7 of the children in Australia, and one of our devotee, very supported member, Mrs. Chandra Kumari Madagama, is the daughter in UK. and the other one is in Sri Lanka. So Mrs. Punchi Kumari Hami Ulupane had 6 children and lived up to 96 years old, did a lot of meritorious activity, blessed with 9 grandchildren and also 5 great-grandchildren. So we take this opportunity to transfer the merits to beloved mother. May she attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Now we are going to start our program. I would respectfully invite Most Reverend Dato Dr. Sumana Siri Nayaka Thera to administer the 5 precepts and make a short reflection. After that, we will make a homage to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then there will be a Sinhala sermon, Dhamma sermon, by our most venerable Dikwalle Sila Sumana Nayaka Thera, based on the Dhamma subject that we have been continuously doing on the discourses today, based on the discourse on downfall, Parabhava Sutta. After that, we will do a short chanting of blessing to bless everyone, especially those who are extremely struggling with the surge in COVID-19 in India and some other parts of Asia. So we take the blessings to them as well. After that, there will be an English sermon to reflect on today's Dhamma sermon. May this Dhamma Dana be with Mrs. Punchi Kumari Hami Ulupane, and may she attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. We also have the coming Saturdays available for Dhamma sponsorship. If you would like to take the sponsorship, please let us know. Now, Rasikaya, would you kindly say Namo Tassa to observe the precepts?
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Yampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Yampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Yampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Yampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Yampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Anatipata viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
පානාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
අදින්නාදානා වීරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වීරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
සාවාදා වීරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
ගාමීරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වීරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දත්තානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, today, the first day of the month, 1st of May, as we begin the Vesak month from the Buddhist calendar, today we consider this as the conventional Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to friends who are workers as well. We monks are also workers. We work for the Dhamma. So today, the Reverend monks will speak about the last gatha or verse on the sutra discourse called Parabha. It's very interesting when you look at how the Buddha's way of teaching, he doesn't talk only about the good side, he talks about the negative side also. He gives us both aspects, the twin aspects of good and bad, right and wrong. It was a time when there was a great dispute on what is called auspicious. Auspicious means the thing that brings you good results, or fortune, mangala. Subha mangalam, as they say in the Indian language. So as this debate went on, the Buddha said, no, the real mangala is the 38 blessings. Now, after saying all that good blessings, on another occasion, in the same city, the Buddha speaks of Parabhava. Parabhava means the downfall. Parabhava can also mean decline, how things go downwards in a person or in a society. This is actually not even a Pali word originally. It is borrowed from the Kannada language. Kannada language means Kannada, they say, the way they pronounce, from the South Indian Karnataka state. Because the Pali tradition was developed by the South Indian monks in collaboration with the Sri Lanka and Anuradhapura monks. So this Parabhava Sutra is a supplement to the Mangala Sutra because it tells what are the good things from the Mangala Sutra, the way of life to progress and happiness, instead of the traditional auspicious Indian way of thinking. And that is an Indian concept in ancient times. The Parabhava Sutta supplements the Mangala Sutta by explaining the causes of one's downfall or a society's downfall, a decline of a person by and large. And this is found in the Sutta Nipata. So it's very interesting that we note the historicity of this and how it comes to the tradition as a very important part. In the book of protection, we say Paritta Pustakaya or Granthe, Pirit Pota in Sinhalese. So it's a practice, therefore. So I wish all of you understood the downfall after this and you don't fall down. And the progress of Mangala Sutta, the 38 blessings will be counted from there. I wish all of you a happy Vesak month. Thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. at the beginning of this Vesak month is a very blissful month, having the ambition to practice at least 25 days, meeting us weekly on Saturday evenings. Let us start with homage to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May this Dhamma Dana blessings be with you to have the good health, progress, and protection, and to practice the highest noble teachings of the Buddha, being able to develop the 7 enlightenment factors, Satta Bojjhanga, and understand the 4 noble truths. During this month of May, Buddha's month, let us start today having the blessing homage to wish you all good health and happiness. Please do join attentively. If you can, keep the videos on and create in your household the true atmosphere of blessings, particularly this month. And if you can create that space and time very devoted to this, this is a very special time for us to meet in distance virtually and gain the highest from this technology, as well as the benefit of venerable monks. So let us pay our homage to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha together. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vinja charana sampanno sugato lokarido anot Taro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Buddhang jivitang yava nibbānang saranang gacchāmi. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehipassiko panayiko paccattam veditambo vinyuhiti tammang jivitang yava nibbānang saranang gacchāmi. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho vujjupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho ñāya patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho sāmīci patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyang kentang lokasati sanghang jivitang yava nibbānang saranang gacchāmi. Vandami cetiyang sabbang sabbatani supatinjitang saririka dhatu mahabodhim Buddha Rupang Sakalang
Sada
Yassa Mule Nisinnova Sambari Vijayang Akapanto Sambang Yutam
Santa
Vande Tang Bodhipadapang Ime Ete Mahabodhi Lokanatena Pujita Ahang Pite Namassami Bodhi Raja Namantute Ganasarappaditena Deepena Tamadang Sinatilokadipang Sambuddham Pujayami Tamonudam Ganda Sambhara Yuttena Dupenahang Sugandhina Pujaye Pujaniyantang Puja Bhajana Vanna Ganda Kunopetang Etang Kusuma Santating Pujayami Muning Dassa Siripada Pujemi Buddhang Kusumena Nena Punyena Metena Labami Uppang Milayati Atai Dhamme Kayo Tatayati Vinasavang Sugandang Sitalang Kappang Pasanna Madurang Subang Paniya Metam Bhagava Patiganhatu Adivase Tuno Bhante Gilana Pacchayang Imang Anukampang Upadaya Patiganhatu Adivase Tuno Bhante Sambang Sandaya Pujitang Anukampang Upadaya Patiganhatu Kaena Vacha Chittena Pamadena Nayakatang Acchayang Kamami Bhante Buripanya Tathagata Kaena Vacha Chittena Pamadena Nayakatang Acchayang Kamami Dhamma Sandintika Akalika Kaena Vacha Chittena Pamadena Nayakatang Acchayang Kamami Sangha Supatipanna Anuttara Imina Punya Kammina Mami Bala Samagamu Satan Samagamu Hotu Yavanimbana Pattiya Akasatta Ca Bhummatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Loka Sasanam Akasatta Ca Bhummatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Desanang Akasatta Ca Bhummatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Mang Paranti Idang Minyati Nang Hotu Sukita Hontu Natayo Idang Minyati Nang Hotu Sukita Hontu Natayo Idang me ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are going to start our Sinhala Dhamma sermon. I encourage those who can't understand the language to practice few minutes Dhammanusati meditation in the feeling that you are listening to the Dhamma. It is a very powerful protection meditation. මේ වෙලාවේදී අපි සිංහල ධර්මානුශාසනාව ආරම්භ කරන්නටයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා ගෞරවයෙන් සිංහල ධර්මානුශාසනාව පවත්වන්නට මාතර දික්වැල්ල වැවුරු කන්නල බුදුරජ මහා විහාරස්ථානයේ විද්‍යාතුංග පිරිවෙනේ පරිවෙනාධිපති වශයෙන් කටයුතු කළ බර්ලින් බෞද්ධ විහාරයේ අනුශාසක වශයෙන් කටයුතු කරන ඒ වගේම අප විහාරස්ථානයේ මේ දිනවල වැඩ සිටින අති ගෞරවනීය දික්වැල්ලේ සීල සුමන පඬිත් හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේට මේ ආරම්භ වෙන්නේ අද දවසේ අපි හරි වාග්යවන්තයි මේ සෙනසුරාදා දිනෙන් ආරම්භ වෙන්නේ අපේ උත්තරීතර වෙසක් මාසය. මේ වෙසක් මාසයේ ආරම්භයේම අපිට මේ දහම් වැඩසටහන පවත්වන්නට ලැබීම ඉතා වාග්යක් විශේෂ වර්ෂයක්. මේ සෙනසුරාදා පහක් අපි මුණ ගැහෙනවා මේ මාසය තුල. ඒ සෙනසුරාදා පහේම අපි අදිෂ්ඨාන කරගමු මේ වෙසක් මාසයේ අපි සීල සමාධි ප්‍රඥා දාන සීල භාවනාදී පින්කම් වල වැඩි වැඩියෙන් නිරත වෙන්නටත් නොවරදවාම සෙනසුරාදාට මේ දහම් වැඩසටහනට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නට. අවම වශයෙන් අද සිට අද පළවෙනිදා දින 25ක් 23 වෙනිදා 22 23 තමයි වෙසක් පොය වැඩසටහන තිබෙන්නේ අපේ. ඒ දවස්වලට සම්බන්ධ වෙනකන් එක දිගට පුළුවන් නම් වැඩිපුර දවස්වල අටසිල් සමාදන් වෙමින් බොහෝ දවස්වල නිති පන්සිල් ආරක්ෂා කරමින් කටයුතු කරන්න කියලා සිහිපත් කරනවා. අපි විශේෂයෙන් අද දවසේ පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනා කරනවා මේ අද ධම්ම ධර්ම දාන පින්කම. හැම පින්කමටම වඩා උසස්ම පින්කම තමයි ධර්ම දාන පින්කම. ඒ පින්කමේ දායකත්වය දරන්නේ චන්ද්‍රා කුමාරී මැදගම මහත්මිය, ඒ වගේම චමත් පුතණුවන්, ගිහාන් පුතණුවන්, ඒ වගේම කවිතා දියණිය, ආර්යයන් මුණුබුරා ඇතුළු පවුලේ සෑම දෙනා විසින් විශේෂයෙන් අද දවසට මාසයක් සම්පූර්ණ වෙනවා දයාබර මෑණියන්, දයාබර ආත්තම්මා, දයාබර මෑණියන් අභාව ප්‍රාප්ත වෙලා පුංචි කුමාරි හාමි උලපනේ මෑණියන් අවුරුදු 96ක් වැනි දීර්ඝායුෂයක් ඊටාම නිරෝගීව ගත කරමින් බොහොම සදහැවන්ත පුණ්‍යවන්ත ජීවිතයක් ගත කරමින් විහාරස්ථාන ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා සමග බොහොම සමීපව කටයුතු කරමින් මීට හරියටම මාසයකට උඩදී අභාව ප්‍රාප්ත වන්නට යෙදුණා. පුංචි කුමාරි හාමි උලුපනේ මෑණියන් දරුවන් 6 දෙනෙක්, විශේෂයෙන් දරුවන් 7 දෙනෙක් ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවෙත්, අපේ දායක නෝනා මහත්මිය වෙන චන්ද්‍රා කුමාරි මැදගම නෝනා මහත්මිය එංගලන්තයේත් කටයුතු කරනවා. ඒ වගේම තව දරුවෙකු ලංකාවේ ඉන්නවා. එතුමියට පුංචි කුමාරි හාමි උලුපනේ මෑණියන්ට මුණුබුර 5 දෙනෙකුත් බොහොම හොඳ ජීවිතයක් සතුටින් ගත කරපු කෙනෙක්. එතුමියට මේ උදාර ධර්ම දාන පින අනුමෝදන් වේවා. එතුමියගේ සසර ගමන සුවපත් වේවා. ප්‍රාර්ථනීය බෝධියකින් චතුරාර්ය සත්‍ය අවබෝධයෙන් උතුම් නිවනම සාක්ෂාත් කර ගනිත්වා කියලා පින් දෙන ගමන් අපි අද දවසට નિયમિત ධර්මානුශාසනාව පවත්වන ලෙස ඊටාම ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා දික්වැල්ලේ සීල සුමන පඬිත් හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේට.
නමෝ තස් භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස අප්පභෝගෝ මහතන්හෝ කත්තියේ ඩායතේ කුලේ සෝච රජ්ජම් පත්තයති තම්පරා භවතෝ මුඛං. ගෞරවනීය හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ, දූ දරුවනි, දෙමාපියනි, අද පරාභව සූත්‍රයේ අවසාන පිරිහීමට හේතු වන කරුණයි මා මාතෘකා කළේ. ඒ ගාථාවෙන් කියවෙන අදහස තමයි ශාස්ත්‍රීය කුලයේ ඉපදිලා ධනෙන් හීන පුජ්‍යලෙක් මහත් වූ තෘෂ්ණාවෙන් නැත්තම් උගා ආශාවක් නැතිව රජකම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කිරීම පිරිහීමේ දොරටුවක් ඇටියට, පිරිහීමේ කරුණක් ඇටියටයි ඒ ගාථාවෙන් ප්‍රකාශ වෙන්නේ. ඉහළ කුලයක ඉපදිලා ධනෙ නැත්තම් ජනතාවගේ බලය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන්නට උනන්දු වෙනවා නම් ඒක පිරිහීමේ දොරටුවක් ඇටියට දක්වන්නේ. සුළු ධනයක් තියෙන නමුත් අධික තණ්හාවෙන් යුක්තව කෙනෙක් ලද දෙයින් කිසිම අවස්ථාවක සතුටක් ලබන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම එවැනි ශාස්ත්‍රීය කුලයක උපන්න කෙනෙක් මහා තණ්හාවෙන් රාජ්‍යත්වයේ බලාපොරොත්තුවෙන්, ඒ වගේම අනුන්ගේ රාජ්‍ය බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් තමා සන්තකේ තිබූ අල්ප ධනෙ පවා දීලා රාජ්‍යත්වයේ ලබන්නේ නැති නිසා පරිහානියටපත් වෙනවා. මේ වගේ තත්වයන් වර්තමාන සමාජය තුලත් බහුල වශයෙන් දකින්නට පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා. දහසකුත් බලාපොරොත්තු ආශාවලින් සිය ජීවිතය පුරවාගෙන තමන්ට ලබා ගන්නට නොහැකි ඇතැම් දේවල් ලබා ගැනීමට තෘෂ්ණාවෙන් හඹා යන පිරිස් අපට දකින්නට ලැබෙන. නමුත් තෘෂ්ණා දාස නැත්නම් තණ්හාවේ දාසයෙක් වෙලා ඒ තෘෂ්ණාවේ ඇලුීම නිසාම බලාපොරොත්තු ඉටු වෙන්නේ නැති බවයි දකින්නට තියෙන්නේ. ඒක හරියට උපතින්ම අන්ධ පුජ්‍යලෙක්, ඒ උපතින්ම අන්ධ පුජ්‍යලයට කියන්නේ ජාත්‍යන්තෙක් කියලා. උපතින්ම අන්ධ පුජ්‍යලෙක් ලස්සන රමණීය දේවල් දකීවායි කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කිරීමකට සමානයි. මේ වගේ අධික තෘෂ්ණාව නිසා තමන් මම්මුලා වෙලා සිටින නිසා ඒකෙන් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ තමන්ගේ පිරිහීම බව ඒ පුජ්‍යලයාට වැටහෙන්නේ නැහැ. ශාස්ත්‍රීය කුලයේ ඉපදුනත් ධනෙ නැතිනම් තෘෂ්ණාව නිසා රජකම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කිරීම පරාභවයට හේතුවක් බව අපට සමාජයෙන් කොතිකුත් ආන්නට ලැබෙන. ධනකාමයේ වගේම බලකාමයේ කියන දෙකම තෘෂ්ණාවේ එක අංගයක් ඇටියට දකින්නට පුළුවන්. ඇතැම් පුජ්‍යලයෝ තනතුරු වලට පත් වෙන්නේ, ඒ වගේම පරිපාලනයට පත් වෙන්නේ ඒවා මෙවලමක් හැටියට තබාගෙන අයිතු ලෙස ධනය රැස් කිරීමට. ඒක පරිහානීය ලක්ෂණයක්. ඒ පුජ්‍යලයාගේ පරිහානිය වගේම සමාජයේ පරිහානියට හේතුවක් වෙන බව කියන්න පුළුවන්. පුජ්‍යලයන්ගේ චර්යා ධර්ම රටාව වෙනස් කරන්නට තවත් කෙනෙකුට හැකියාවක් නැහැ. ඒ අවබෝධය පුජ්‍යලයා විසින්ම ලබා ගත යුතු වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම සමාජයේ විසින් එම පුජ්‍යලයා ආදර්ශයෙන් දැනුවත් කළ යුතු වෙනවා. රටක සම්පත් වැඩි තැනින් අඩු තැනට බෙදී යාම සමාජයක් වශයෙන් තහරු වෙලා අභිවෘද්ධිය කලා ගමන් කරන වැඩි තැනින් අඩු තැනට ඒ විදිහට සමාජයේ ධනය බෙදී යනවා නම් කාතරත් ඒ සතුට සොම්නස බෙදී යෑමක් වෙනවා. ලෝකයේ කිසිම දවසක කිසිම කෙනෙකුට තනිව සම්පත් එක්රැස් කරන්නට පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. සාමූහික උත්සාහයකින් එක් පුජ්‍යලයකට අයිති වෙන බොහෝ ධනය බෙදී යන්නට ඕන. අග්ගඤ්ඤ සූත්‍රයේ සඳහන් වෙන පරිදි සමාජයේ ක්‍රමයෙන් පිරිනකොට බුද්ධිමතුන් එක් වෙලා සමාජයේ සදාචාර සම්පන්න දියුණු උසස් තත්වයකට පත් කරගන්නට කතිකා කරගත් බව සඳහන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඔවුන් අනුගමනය කරන්නට තීරණය කළා බුද්ධිමත්, දක්ෂ, කාර්යශූර මනා පෞරුෂයකින් යුක්ත අයෙකු තෝරාගෙන ඔහුට වගකීම් පවරන්නට. ඒ අනුව වැඩි දිනාගේ කැමැත්ත පරිදි ඒ වගේම සුදුසු අයෙකු තෝරා ගන්නට මහජන සම්මතයෙන් තෝරාගත් නිසා මහා සම්මත කියලා ඔහුට පැවසූ බවයි එම සූත්‍ර දේශනාවේ දැක්වෙන්නේ. කෙත්තානං අධිපතීති කත්තියෝ විශාල කෙත්‍යායක අයිතිකරුවෙකු නිසා ඔහු ශාස්ත්‍රීය නාමයෙන් හැඳින්වූ බව තමයි සඳහන් වෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම ධම්මේන පරේ රංජතීති රාජා ධර්මානුකූලව රට පාලනය කරලා ධන හදවත් දිනාගත්ත නිසා තමයි රජතුමා කියලා කියන්නේ. ජනතාවගේ හදවත දිනාගත්ත නිසා තමයි ඒ විදිහට හඳුන්වලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ ආකාරයට මුලින්ම ශාස්ත්‍රීය සමාජයේ ඇති වුණු බව තමයි ඒ සූත්‍ර දේශනාවේ දක්වන්නේ. ඒ වගේම පාලක පක්ෂයක් බිහි වෙච්ච ආකාරය මේකෙන් අපට හඳුනා ගන්නට පුළුවන්කම තියෙනවා. බාහිත පාප ධම්මෝ බාක්මනෝ කියන ඒ හැඳින්වීමෙන් පැහැදිලි වෙන්නේ පව් දුරු කිරීමේ අදහසින් වනගත වූ පිරිස බ්‍රාහ්මණ වශයෙන් හඳින්වූ බව. සමාජ ප්‍රභවය නැත්නම් සමාජයේ ආරම්භය ඇතිවීම පිළිබඳ බ්‍රාහ්මණ මතයට අනුව පුජ්‍යලයාගේ සෑම අංශයක්ම තීරණය වන්නේ දෙවියන්ගේ කැමැත්තට, දේව කැමැත්තට අනුව. මේ නිසා මිනිසා උපතින්ම පරාදීනයෙකු බවට පත් කරලා තියෙනවා. හේතුව තමයි පුජ්‍යලයාගේ කැමැත්ත අනුව කිසිම තීරණයකට එළඹෙන්නට නැත්නම් ක්‍රියා කරන්නට හැකියාවක් නැති නිසා. ඒ පුජ්‍යලයාගේ ස්වාධීන තීරණයකට අවසරයක් එතෙන්දී ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ පාලනයේ අනුවෙන් බුදුදහමේ උගන්වන්නේ ආර්ථික, ආධ්‍යාත්මික, ඒ වගේම සනීප ආරක්ෂක දියුණු කිරීමයි. ඒ සනීප ආරක්ෂාව දියුණු කිරීම තමයි පාලනය කියලා දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. පාලකයෙකු සතු යුතු ගුණධර්ම රාශියක් දක්වලා තියෙනවා. දස සක්විතිවත්, ඒ වගේම දසරාජ ධර්ම, ඒ වගේම සප්ත අපරිහානීය ධර්ම, සතර සංග්‍රහ වස්තු, සතර අගතියෙන් වෙන්වීම, පංචශීල ප්‍රතිපත්තිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම, භික්ෂු සමාජයෙන් ගත හැකි ආදර්ශ වගේම ධර්මයට ප්‍රධානත්වයක් දැක්වීම දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ඒව තමයි පාලකයෙකු සතු යුතු ගුණාංග හැටියට දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. උසස් කුලයක ඉපදිලා ධනය නැතිව ඒත් මහත් තෘෂ්ණාව නිසා රාජ්‍යත්වය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කිරීම පරාභවයට හේතුවක් කියන එක අපි කලිනුත් සඳහන් කළා ඒ බුද්ධ දේශනාවට අනුව සියලු ආකාර දුක් වලට හේතුව තමයි ආසාව, ඇල්ම, රාගය ආදී නොඑක ආකාර වලින් දැක්වෙන මේ තෘෂ්ණාව. මිනිසාට කහවණු වැස්සකින් වුවත් කාමයන්ගේ තෘප්තියක් කහවණු වැස්සක් කාමයන්ගේ තෘප්තියක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැති බව තමයි ධර්මයේ දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ නිසා කාමයන් සීනෙන් පානය කරපු පැනක් වගේ නැත්නම් සීනෙන් පානය කරපු වතුර වගේ මද ආස්වාද ඇති බව තමයි දක්වලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා එහි බොහෝ දුක් ඇති බව තමයි පඬිතයන් නුවණින් දැනගන්නට ඕන. පටිච්ච සමුප්පාදයට අනුව හැම දෙයක්ම එකට බැඳී පවතිනවා. එකම මුල් හේතුවක් නැහැ. ඒ අනුව දුකට හේතුව ලෙස දැක්වෙන්නේ තෘෂ්ණාව නැත්නම් තණ්හාව. ඒ තමයි වේදනාව නැත්නම් වේදනාවට හේතුවක් තිබෙනවා. ඒ තමයි ස්පර්ශය කියලා කියන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ ආකාරයට චක්‍රාකාර පැවැත්මක ප්‍රතිඵල වශයෙන් මේ දුක්ඛ මේ නැත්නම් මේ දුක කියන එක ඇති වෙන බව නැත්නම් ප්‍රභවය වෙන බව දක්වලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා බුදුදහමේ දැක්වෙන සමචර්යාව, ධර්මචර්යාව දෙකම සමාජයේ යහපැවැත්මට හේතු වෙනවා. සමචර්යාව කියලා කියන්නේ සමාජයේ යහපත් පැවැත්මට හේතු වන කරුණු වලට. ධර්මචර්යාව කියන්නේ ධර්මානුකූල පැවැත්මට. ඒතකොට මෙන්න මේ කියන සමචර්යාවත් ධර්මචර්යාවත් දෙකම පැවැත්වීම සමතුලිත ජීවිතයක් ගත කරන්නට පවත්වා ගන්නට හේතු වෙනවා. ඒක පුජ්‍යලයාගේ අභිවෘද්ධියට වගේම සමාජයේ අභිවෘද්ධියට හේතු වෙනවා. හැම දිනාටම තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
සාදු සාදු සාදු. ඒ උතුම් ධර්ම දේශනාව පවත් වූ දික්වැල්ලේ සීල සුමන පඬිතු හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේට අපි ආශිර්වාද කරනවා, පින් අනුමෝදන් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අද දවසේ පින්කමේ දායකත්වයේ දරන සෑම දිනාටමත් මේ වෙසක් මාස ආරම්භයේ ඇති කරගත් ධර්ම දානමය පිනේ හේතුවෙන් උතුම් චතුරාර්ය සත්‍ය අවබෝධයෙන් නිර්වාණ ශාන්තිය සැලසේවා කියන අදිෂ්ඨාන ඇති කරගෙන now we are going to do the chanting of protection blessings. Now we are coming to the end of our Dhamma series of Parabhava Sutta. So today we are chanting the Parabhava Sutta as well as a form of protection blessings. May these protection blessings bring you good health, protection and happiness. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Evaං me sutaං ekam samayam bhagavā sāvattiyaṃ viharati jetavane anātha pindikassa ārāme atako aññatara devata abhikkantaya raddiya abhikkantavanna kevala kampam jetavaṇaṃ ogasetlam yena bhagavate nupasankami upasankamitvā bhagavantaṃ abhivā ඒකමන්තං අණ්ඩාසි ඒකමන්තං තිතාකෝසා දේවතා භගවන්තං ගාතාය අජ්ජවාසී පරාභවන්තං පුරිසං මයං පුච්චාම ගෝතමං භගවන්තං පුට්ටුමාගම්ම කිම් පරාභවතෝ මුකං සුවිජානෝ භවං හෝති සුවිජානෝ පරාභවෝ ධම්මකාමෝ භවං හෝති ධම්මදෙස්සේ පරාභවෝ ඉති හේතං විජානාම පඨමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ ဒ ුතියං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුකං අසන්තස්ස පියා හොන්ති සන්තේන ගුරුතේ පියං අසතං ධම්මං රෝචේති තම් පරාභවතෝ මුකං ඉති හේතං විජානාම ဒ ුතියෝසෝ පරාභවෝ තතියං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුකං නින්දා සීලි සබා සීලි අනුට්ඨාතාචයෝ නරෝ අලසෝ කෝද පඤ්ඤානෝ තං පරාභවතෝ මුකං ඉති හේතං විජානාම තතියෝසෝ පරාභවෝ චතුත්තං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුකං යෝ මාතරං වා පිතරං වා ජින්නකං ගත උම්බනං පහුසන්තෝන භරති තං පරාභවතෝ මුකං ඉති හේතං විජානාම චතුන්තෝසෝ පරාභවෝ පංචමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං යෝ බ්‍රහ්මනං වා සමනං වා අඤ්ඤං වාපි වනින්දකං මුසාවාදේන වංචේති තං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉති හේතං විජානාම පංචමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ චට්ඨමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං පහූත විත්තෝ පුරිසෝ සහිරඤ්ඤෝ සබෝජනෝ ඒකෝ බුඤ්ජති සාදුනි තං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉති හේතං විජානාම චට්ඨමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ සත්තමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුකං ජාතිත් තද්දෝ ධනත් තද්දෝ ගොත්තත් තද්දෝ චයෝ නරෝ සංඥාතින් අතිමඤ්ඤේති තං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉති හේතං විජානාම සත්තමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ අට්ඨමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉත්ති දුත්තෝ සුරා දුත්තෝ අක්ඛ දුත්තෝ චයෝ නරෝ ලද්දං ලද්දං විනාසේති තං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉති හේතං විජානාම අට්ඨමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ නවමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං සේහි දාරේහි සන්තුට්ඨෝ වේසියාසු පදිස්සති දිස්සති පරදාරේසු තං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉති හේතං විජානාම නවමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ දසමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං අතීත යොබ්බනෝ පෝසෝ ආනේති තිම්බරුත්තනින් තස්සා ඉස්සාන සුපති තම් පරාභව ඉති හේතං විජානාම දසමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ ඒකාදසමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභවතෝ මුඛං ඉත්ති සොණ්ඩින් විකිරණින් පුරිසං වාපිතා දිසං ඉස්සරියස්මින් තපාපේති තං පරාභව ඉති හේතං විජානාම ඒකාදසමෝසෝ පරාභවෝ ද්වාදසමං භගවා බ්‍රූහි කිං පරාභව අප්පභෝගෝ මහතන් හෝ කත්තියේ ජායතේ කුලේ සෝච රජ්ජං පත්තයති තං පරාභව ඒතේ පරාභවේ ලෝකේ පණ්ඩිතෝ සමවෙක්කිය අරියෝ දස්සන සම්පන්නෝ සලෝකං භජතේ සිවන්ති ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජය මංගලං කරණීය මත්ත කුසලේන යන්තං සන්තං පදං අபிසංච සක්කෝ උජුච සූජුච සුවචෝ චස්ස මුදු අනතිමානි සන්තුස්සකෝච සුබරෝච අම්බකිච්චෝච සල්ලෞකවුන්ති සන්තින්ද්‍රියෝච නිපකෝච අම්බගම්බෝ කුලේසු අනනු නච්ච කුද්දං සමාචරේ කිංකියේන විඤ්ඤූ පරේ උපවයං සුඛිනෝ වාකේමිනෝ හොන්තු සම්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතන්තා යේකේචි පාන භූතත්ති තසවතාවරාවා අනව දීගාවා ඒ මහන්තාවා මජ්ජිමාරස්ස කානුකූලා දිට්ඨාවා ඒව අද්දිට්ඨායේච දුරේ වසන්ති අවිදුරේ භූතාවා සම්භවේ සීවා සම්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතන්තා නපරෝ පරං නිකුම්බේත නාති මඤ්ඤේත කත්තති නං කංචේ ව්‍යාරෝසනා පටිග සංඥාඤ්ඤ මන්නස්ස දුක්ඛ මිච්ඡේය මාතා යතා නියං පුත්තං ආයුසා ඒක බුද්ධ මනුරංකේ එවං පි සබ්බ භූතේසු මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං මෙත්තං ච සබ්බ ලෝකස්මින් මාන සංභාවයේ අපරිමාණං උද්දං අදෝච තිරියංච අසම්බාධං අවීරං අසපත්තං තිත්තං චරං නිසින්නෝ වාසයානෝ ආයාවතස්ස විගතමින්දෝ ඒතං සතින් අදිත්තේය බ්‍රහ්මමේතං විහාරං ඉදමාවෝ දිට්ඨිංච අනුපගම්ම සීලවා දස්සනේන සම්පන්නෝ කාමේසු විනේහියගේ දං නහි ජාතු ගම්භයම් පුනරේති ඒතේන ඒතේන සච්ච වංජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු
සම්බදා
ඒතේන සච්ච වංජේන සම්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු ඒතේන සච්ච වංජේන හෝතු තේ ජය
මංගලං
සිරිදිති මති තේජෝ ජය සින්දි මහින්දි මහා ගුණං අපරිමිත පුඤ්ඤාදිකාරස්ස සබ්බන්තරාය නිවා සමන්තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස ද්වත්තිංස මහා පුරිස භාවේන අසීත්‍යානුභ්‍යංජන ලක්ඛනානුභාවේන අට්ඨුත්තර සත මංගල ලක්ඛනානුභාවේන සම්බන්න රන්ස්යානුභාවේන කේතුමාලානුභාවේන දස පාරමිතානුභාවේන දස උපපාරමිතානුභාවේන දස පරමත්ත පාරමිතානුභාවේන සීල සමාධි පඤ්ඤානුභාවේන බුද්ධානුභාවේන ධම්මානුභාවේන සංඝානුභාවේන තේජානුභාවේන විද්‍යානුභාවේන බලානුභාවේන නෙය්‍ය ධම්මානුභාවේන චතුරාසීති සහස්ස ධම්මස්කන්ධානුභාවේන නවලෝකොත්තර ධම්මානුභාවේන අට්ඨංගික මග්ගානුභාවේන අට්ඨ සමාපත්ත්‍යානුභාවේන චල විඤ්ඤානුභාවේන මෙත්තා කරුණා මුදිතා උපේක්ඛානුභාවේන සබ්බ පාරමිතානුභාවේන රතනත්ය සරණානුභාවේන තුයං සබ්බ රෝග ශෝක උපන්දව දුක්ඛ දෝමනස්සුපායාසා විනස්සන්තු සම්බ සංකප්පා තුයං සමිජ්ජන්තු දීගායුකෝ හෝතු සතවස්ස ජීවේන සමංගිකෝ හෝතු ආකාස පම්බත වන භූමි තටාක ගංගා මහා සමුද්ද ආරක්කක දේවතා සදාතුම් මේ අනුරක්කන්තු සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන බුද්ධ රතනං ධම්ම රතනං සංඝ රතනං තින්නම් රතනානං ආනුභාවේන චතුරාසීති සහස්ස ධම්මස් භාවේන පිටකත්තයානුභාවේන ජින ශාවකානුභාවේන සබ්බේතේ රෝගා සබ්බේතේ භයා සබ්බේතේ අන්තරායා සබ්බේතේ උපන්දවා සබ්බේතේ දුන්නිමින්දා සබ්බේතේ අවමංගලා විනස්සන්තු ආයු වණ්ඩකෝ ධන වණ්ඩකෝ සිරි වණ්ඩකෝ යස වණ්ඩකෝ බල වණ්ඩකෝ වන්න වණ්ඩකෝ සුඛ වණ්ඩකෝ හෝතු සම්පදා දුක්ඛ රෝග භය වේරා ශෝකා සම්බේ උපන්දවා අනේකා අන්තරායාපි විනස්සන්තු ච ජය සිද්ධි ධනං ලාභං සොත්ති වාග්යං සුඛං බලං සිරියායුච නෝච භෝගං බුද්ධි ච යසවා සතවස්සා ච ආයුච ජීව සිද්ධි භවන්තු තේ සම්බීතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු සම්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ සුඛී දීඝායුකෝ භව භවතු සම්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සම්බ දේවතා සම්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන භාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ
දේවතා
සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ
දේවතා
සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ නක්ඛත් යක්ඛ භූතානං පාපග්ගා නිවාරණා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන අන්තු තේ උපද්දවේ නක්ඛත් යක්ඛ භූතානං පාපග්ගා නිවාරණා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන අන්තු තේ සංඋපද්දවේ යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සු පිනන්නකන්තං බුද්ධානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සු පිනං
අකන්තං
ධම්මානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ යන්දුන් නිමිත්තං අවමංගලං ච යෝචාමනාපෝ සකුණස්ස සද්දෝ පාපග්ගහෝ දුස්සු පිනං අකන්තං සංඝානුභාවේන විනාශමෙන්තෝ දුක්ඛප්පත්තාච නිදුක්ඛා භයප්පත්තාච නිබ්බයා සෝකප්පත්තාච නිස්සෝකා හොන්තු සබ්බේ පිපානිනෝ සබ්බේ බුද්ධා බලප්පත්තා
පච්චේකානං චයම් බලං
අරහං තානං ච තේජේන රක්ඛං බන්දාමි සබ්බසු සාදු 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 නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස Homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened Lord Buddha. Time for our English Dhammadana sermon. Iti hetang vijanama ekadasamuso parabhavo dvadasamang bhagava bruhi king parabhavato mukang. The deity explained to the Buddha, Venerable Lord, we now learn the 11th cause of downfall, which we explained last week. Now the Deva, the divine being, deity or the angel, pray, O Lord Buddha, the Blessed One, tell us the 12th cause of one's downfall. So Buddha explained the 12th cause of downfall, which comes the 24th Gatha of the Parabhava Sutta, the discourse on downfall. Appabogo mahatanho kattiye jayate kule socha rajjang pattayati tampara bhavato mukang. The general meaning, he or she who has little wealth but mega ambition due to greed is born into a ruler's clan, Khattiya, and aspire to unattainable kingship, This is the cause of downfall. Here, there are 4 things Buddha tried to explain. Before I go into that, I wanted to make all of us understand, as we come to the end of this discourse on downfall, Parabhava Sutta, every Buddha being preached this discourse. And it comes in our book of protection, Parittana Pota. It's a protection. It also clearly explains how one can lead a very successful life. Most of us think Buddhism is all about life after or beyond our normal life, such as Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, and so on. But those things, in the philosophical sense, would not make any benefit if we can't make our life in the wise and meaningful way in this very life. Therefore, Buddha was very, very concerned how one can make or lead a successful life here in this very life. Even in his very brief admonition, Sabba Papassa Akarana, Kusalassa Upasampada, before putting the meditation to go into higher attainments, he said that one should be very, very concerned to first and foremost to avoid from dangers, evil, unwholesome things. Why? If you think of a cloth, if there is any stains, dirt, something, even a burn, put that back into normality is so hard. So this very life that we all have is a precious opportunity that can be destroyed, misled by millions and trillions of defilements that are all around us. Before we do engage in good things, we should be very careful with defilements, unwholesome things. And to be careful, we need to identify what those are. And that is why this divine being, angel, first came and asked the Mangala Sutta. Everybody does many things thinking that those are the blessings. But he wanted to get an answer from the very highly wise teacher. What are the real blessings? Then Buddha very beautifully outlined 38 blessings. First 30 is directly for this life. Last 8 directly for a higher life in the spiritual development. Being satisfied, Devas, angels, requested Buddha to explain the causes of downfall. Here, Buddha explained and delivered this discourse called Parabhava, the discourse on downfall. It has 25 gathas. Today, we discuss the 24th one. The last one is to summarize all these things. And this one, this 24th gatha, explain very important few things. It explains being born into a higher class, but do not have adequate wealth. Then have a very, very unattainable, unimaginable, mentality of an ambition, higher ambitions, unpractical. Finally, that person is obsessed with greed. Those characteristics, Buddha said, is a cause of downfall. Here, how the mind works. The person who has little wanted to earn more and gain more. When that comes into place, you lose morality. Normally we say, when wealth or money comes, money asks the question, will I go or would you go? Many people say to the money, you stay, I will go. That is why they engage in alcohol and other sort of immoral things by spending money. Because they would like the money to be there and put their life in samsaric danger. At the very beginning of the society, there was an equal society. Then there started some problems. They wanted to appoint a person to control that society. They promised that person to collect a collection called tax and look after the life of that person. That group of people were called rulers. Those are what here we call Shastriya. Shastriya belongs to warrior class, rulers class, government part. And then there were spiritual people. To support spiritual needs, they were called Brahmana. And then there were people who works. They were called workers. Today is the World Universal Working Day, Labor's Day. They were called workers, which they looked after mostly the economic part of the world. So there are 4 sections came into life. What are those 4 parts? Rulers, spiritual people, workers, and also people who earn, support the economy. However, in that time, even today, before this democracy come into being, that was very much became a limited group of people. So their families, their children were practicing it. But it does not mean that someone else can come into being. With the beginning of this, they develop their lineage as kings or rulers or as spiritual beings. But Buddha combined those two and said, you know, by birth, person doesn't belong into any of these. By being virtuous, the person being belong to those 4 aspects of society. So this Kattiya here mentioned can be a woman or a man. If somebody have the mentality to become one of them, or king or queen, that would be taken into consideration very meaningfully. Otherwise, that can develop some downfall and problems. If you can think of not only these kings and queens, even the spiritual community, like there was a contemporary to the Buddha, which was a cousin to him, Devadatta, wanted to kill the Buddha and to become the Buddha. Maybe ignorance, maybe greed, but need to get the position. Maybe the mania, the conceit, or maybe the greed. That natural things can come into our life. In the life, Buddha mentioned 3 aspects of craving: Kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. This bhava tanha, becoming, greed for becoming, is they wanted to be a popular person, they wanted to be into a political appointment, they wanted to be king. That is becoming, wanted to be becoming into certain aspects in greed is a bhava tanha. One who has little, appa bhogo, but can't sleep, work very greedily to gain more, is kama tanha. Those are causes of downfall. What Buddha mentioned, to be satisfied with what we have and share the things we have, develops our qualities against this kama tanha, sensual pleasures, and also bhava tanha, greed for becoming. That quality naturally develops in the mind. Even if we think of the general society today, if that person is not born or outside, even born into the king's or queen's family, that person can't, by just ambition or mentality, get into that position. If that person think of that, there is a big wrong in there. Sometimes when we develop our mind activities, even in the mental health, we have seen people come to this state or attitudes. They think like they were the supreme beings. They were the enlightened people. They were the Buddhas alike. And they were the kings and queens. Those are natural mental states that can come as a reflection or deceitful part of our conceit called mana. When those things can appear, develop, people need to be very careful, otherwise it causes downfall. Is said by the Buddha in this very discourse. The person who has little wanted to abuse and put other people in discrimination to gain more wealth, not to do a benefit to the society, but for his or her own gains, which is very dangerous because that create a lot of defilements. Eventually, the person may go into a lower realm as well as has to pay big karmic results. Therefore, in this discourse, in this stanza, Lord Buddha very clearly explained very special mentality that one can develop once one being born into higher caste, higher lineage. By being just born into it, the person will not be suitable for the leadership of that. Therefore, to be humble of that is very important thing. Otherwise, that would not only a downfall to him or her, it would lead into the whole society. Lord Buddha finally said, people should not crave to be king or queen. Yet they should be working hard to attain the Sotapatti Phala, which means eliminating this Kama Tanha, Bhava Tanha, Vibhava Tanha, attain the path or enter into the spiritual path of secured state of development. Even to have such thousands or millions of kingships, may be the highest king of kings, but it would not be good enough compared to the Sotapatti Phala, which is the first stream entry, attainment of spiritual development. When one put oneself in this focus, the person never downfall, degrade. The person develops in this world and even the world after. So, to conclude my Dhamma sermon today, we need to reflect on 4 things here. As mentioned, the form of nature of mana that can develop in any person's life to be someone extra powerful. And also the nature of tanha, greed. Person may have little, want to abuse and misuse the power, society to greedily gain more wealth and power. Then not to have mentality of unattainable aspirations. Be simple, humble people that we can be on foot, can put our foot on the ground and root ourselves onto the earth. That is the main important thing in this life. Then reflect on the causes of suffering, which is the 3 main roots of greed, kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Eliminate them and put oneself in the ambition to attain the path to enlightenment, Sohan, Sakurdagami, Anagami, Arihat. What a wonderful way to explain the causes of downfall by the Buddha. In the normal society, you know, where one can highly get into a king or queen. Once in the normal society, if you get into that position, there is no other place. Like president of a country or a prime minister of the country. There is no other higher place. But it should be righteous, it should be moral, otherwise it is a downfall and a destruction. In a spiritual life, the highest place that one can get in the spiritual development is always greater, and still need to be careful whether we have a deceitful state of mind. Otherwise, we can create a lot of problems saying, I am the Buddha, I attain the Buddha, and everybody should respect me. But that happened to the Devadatta as well. And he encouraged young boy to kill the father and to become the king, Ajasatta. Can you see the danger of that? What Buddha explained in this discourse, in this Gatha. So may this Dhamma reflection bring you the understanding to reflect on the power and the dangers of conceit, mana, danger of greed, danger of mentality to become a higher position, even not being having the adequate qualifications and background, are causes of downfall. May this Dhammadana bring you good health, protection here in this life and even life after. May the blessings of Dhammadana today be with our main sponsors, Mrs. Chandra Kumari Medagama, son Chamat, son Gihan, also daughter-in-law Kavita, as well as their grandson Aryan and the family. May the blessings today they are thinking of the first month of their loving mother, loving grandmother, loving great-grandmother, Mrs. Punchi Kumari Hami Ulupane, who passed away a month ago, attained the supreme bliss of Nibbana. As I mentioned, we are starting today the month of Vesak, which is a highly blessed month, and I encourage you to practice at least 25 days. We will be meeting another 4 weeks. There are 5 Saturdays of this month, and there is an opportunity for you to take the sponsorship of this month's Saturday programs. And if you wanted to sponsor other things in the temple during this Vesak month or in the Vesak program, let us know. That is a very blissful month. And I would highly encourage you to decorate your house and make special arrangements to celebrate this month of Vesak, to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and the greatest teachings of the Buddha. May you all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I will pass on to our Rasikaya to go ahead with the today's Dhamma sharing from our children.
සියලු මහා මුදුරන් වහන්සේලාගේ අවසරයි. දේවාන් සරණයි සියලු දෙනාටම. Good evening, everyone. So we have been learning Parabhava Sutta in the last few months, and we have come to the last Gatha today. And ever since, we have been learning a lot of Dhammakarana around these Gathas. And today we learned the last Gatha, which explained that if one is having little wealth and born into a high caste family, but he's having this big ambition, unattainable, Hamdul said, unachievable ambitions, it is a cause of downfall. Why is it a cause of downfall? Because this person has no qualifications to achieve these high ambitions, and he or she will engage in immoral activities in order to achieve these ambitions. So Hamdru also said, to overcome this situation, one has to live within means. And in Sri Lanka, in Sinhala, we say that Ladaden Satutuvima. And we have to be down to earth people as well. So you learned a lot around this Dhammakarana, which Hamaduru expanded with a lot of details. And I would like to give our heartiest gratitude to all Hamaduru at this moment, explaining this Dhammakarana to our children to better their lives, as well as for adults. And I wish all Hamaduru good health and happiness. Thera and Sarai. Okay, now we are going to listen to your homework that you learned about the Gatha 2 weeks ago, which explained that if one is in a responsible position, and if he is addicted to alcohol and greedy to eat meat, and he will waste his money and wealth. And it is a cause of one's downfall. So we gave you a chance to explain your understanding of that Gatha. And I would pass on to the first person to do your presentation. Please start, Sachit. Thank you very much.
Dewan Sanai. Today I'll be talking about the 24th Gatha of Baba Sutta. Apabogo Mahantanto Kaji Jayati Kode Socha Lajam Patiyati Tampalabavato Mukam. To have a noble birth with lots of ambition, and to do it in any way possible. And to crave to be the ruler, the leader of a country. This will be a cause of one's downfall. If a person is born into a wealthy class, he or she has great and unrealistic ambitions to become a ruler of a country. This will result in downfall. Some Buddhist scholars have commented here that Buddha may have referred to the deterioration and downfall of a country as a whole, and not for just the person itself. This will happen if a person who has these negative qualities. A sign of a person who has these negative qualities include wanting to drink alcohol, wanting to take an intoxicant, and always wanting to live a lavish lifestyle. Dewan Sanai.
Thank you, Sachit. Itisan sondil vikiranin purisan wapita disan isariasmin tapapeti tampara bavato mukan me gathawe teruma wenne matsya mansa madhyapana adiyehi lolwu e sandha danya visuruwana Makho ebudu purushayeku adipatyahi tabada e pirihim karanuya. Teruwa saranai.
Thank you, Chanodi. Good evening, everyone. Iti sudim vikiranim purisam vapi tadisam Isarias mim tapeti tampara bhavato mukam.
He who places in authority a woman given to drinking and carelessness, or a man of similar nature. This is the cause of one's downfall. Thank you for listening to me. ඔබ සමතට උරන් සරණයි. Ittisondem vikaranim parasamvapi tadisam isiriyasmin tapati tamparabhavatomukan. He or places in authority a woman given to drinking, greedy on meat eating and squandering, or a man of similar nature. This is the cause of one's downfall. Dato and Saranai.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the 22nd Gatha of Parabhava Sutra. Ittisondin vikiranin purisam vapitadisam isariyasmin tapeti tampara bhavatomakan. This gatha means that a man who places authority on a woman given to drinking, greedy on meat eating and squandering, of a man to similar nature. This is the cause of one's downfall. If no authority existed, there would be a lot of crimes and problems. So some people then decided to appoint a person to enforce rules and values, and ever since then, people have always agreed to those rules and values. Dato Saranai.
Thank you. Today we will be given our consideration for the next verse of Parabhava Sutra. It is Ittisondin vikiranin gatha. The meaning of that is to place in authority a woman given to drink and squandering, or a man of a like behavior. This is a cause of one's downfall, and we can say when we're choosing a leader, it is not to select a person who is greedy for meat and alcohol and need to be choose for the position one who with a good humanity and qualities. Further, to place a woman or a man who is addicted to alcohol and waste money in a position of responsibility is bound to lead to downfall and destruction. The deranged mental state will not be conducive to make responsible decisions, and they will result to any means of fulfilling the addiction to the expense of anything. Well, some Buddhist scholars have suggested that the Buddha is the first may have referred to the destruction of the family or other group rather than the downfall of an individual. Reverend.
Thank you, Rayon. Today I will be talking about the last verse of Parabhava Sutra. Iti sandim vikiranim parisam vapitadisam isirayasamin tapeti tam parabhavato mukam. The meaning of this gatha is he or who places in authority a man or a woman given to drinking and squandering of a similar nature. This is the cause of one's downfall. Now I'm going to talk about the word by word meaning of each of these words in this last verse. Iti means woman, sandim means addicted to drinking, vikiranim means lit to scatter about, which means squandering. Purisam means appearing, being, or seen. Tadisam means such, like, or such quality. Isirayasamin means mastership, placing in authority. Thapeti means burns out. Tam means this is, concedes. Parabhavato means decline, and mukam means cause of reason for. Theranang Saranai.
Thank you, Sanket. Iti sondim vikaranim purisam vapida desam isra yasmin tapeti dampara bhavato mukam. The meaning of this gatha is to place a woman or man who is addicted to alcohol and waste money in a position of responsibility is bound to lead to downfall and destruction. Their disturbed, unstable mental state will not be conducive to make responsible decisions, and they will resort to any means of fulfilling their addiction at the expense of anything else. Thank you for listening. Thera and Saranai.
Itin sanating vikaring purasang vitadasang isarayasming tapati tang parabhavato mukhan.
The meaning of the gatha is, we learn in the 10th cause of one's downfall. Pray, blessed one, tell us the 11th cause of one's downfall. He plays in authority, a woman given to drink and squandering, or a man of similar nature. This is the cause of one's downfall. Daruan Saranai.
Thank you, Sanatan Sara. The 11th cause of downfall is Itin Sandin Vikiranin Purisan Vapitatisan Isiriyasmin Tapapeti Tampara Bhavata Mukhan. He who places in authority a woman given to drinking or greedy on eating meat, squandering, or even a man of similar nature. This is a cause of downfall.
In this gatha, Lord Buddha explained one of the most important factors of the society. The society means our family, the unit, group, and our country. That requires organizing or some sort of discipline to keep in the right direction in our family's authority. is my parents. They always give us good advisors to improve the qualities to our life. When someone is addicted to intoxicants, they cannot concentrate, and it will lead them into some sort of illness in the mind. Not only Parabara Sutra, but in Sigalovada Sutra, Lord Buddha explains 6 dangers when people are addicted to alcohol. The first one is lots of immediate wealth. The second one, increasing quarreling. Third, susceptibility of illness. Fourth, destroy the person's reputation. And the last one is someone who is addicted to alcohol, he doesn't have shame and fear eventually. When someone is greedy to eat more meat, then that person will become more angry and become very rough character. Therefore, those who are particularly in authority should not having addicted to alcohol or meat. This is the cause of downfall.
Thank you. Metul Malaya Mehelinangi. Avasarai Hamadurani. Itti Sundin Vikiranin Purisan Vapita Disan Isari Yasmin Tapapeti Tambara Bavato Mukang Itti Sundin Vikiranin Purisan Vapita Disan Yanu Mas Mancha Valata Saha Suravata Gijuvu Kantaවක් හෝ පුරුෂයෙක් යන තේරුමයි. ඉස්සරි යස්මින් තපාපේති. යම්කිසි උසස් රැකියා ස්ථානයක කළමනාකරන තත්වයට හෝ භාණ්ඩාගාරික තත්වයට හෝ වෙන යම් උසස් තත්වයකට පත් කරයි නම් එම රැකියා ස්ථානයේ ප්‍රධානයා පරිහානියට පත්වෙයි. මස් මාංශ වලට සහ සුරාවට සූදුවට කැමති පුද්ගලයා නිතරම අපකීර්තියට පත්වනවා. එවැනි පුද්ගලයෙකුට වියදම් බහුල නිසා ඔහුගේ අර පිරිමැස්ම නැතිවෙනවා. තමා සතු ධනය නිතරම විනාශයට පත් කරගන්නවා. එම නිසා රැකියේ ස්ථානයේ වගකීම් පැහැර හරිනවා. මේ හේතු නිසා අප මහා බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ වදාළේ මෙවැනි පුද්ගලයෙකු ආයතනයක ප්‍රධානියා වශයෙන් පත් කර ගත්තොත් එය මහා පරිහානියකට හේතුවක් බවයි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Thank you, Vinulaya. Itti Sandin Vikiranin Purisan Vapita Disan Issari Yasmin Tapapeti Tampara Bhavato Mukham.
This gatha means he who places in authority a woman given to drinking or fond of eating meats and squandered their money, or even picking a man of similar nature. This is a cause of one's downfall.
All of us know that drugs or alcohol can be harmful to humans, as it can cause diseases. It can change people's behavior. It can cause slurred speech, drowsiness, vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach, and headaches.
Therefore, putting a person addicted to alcohol as a leader is no ideal, because this person will be more interested in drinking alcohol than carrying out his responsibilities as a leader. He would waste the money to buy alcohol instead of spending it on developing his business. A society needs a leader to check what is happening. Otherwise, the people would do whatever they want. When you choose a leader, it can be only someone you trust and not someone who has rude habits, as they will not serve their area well.
Like you said, Nangi, if you appoint a leader who has a different view of life, then they can cause many problems and will not make a good leader. If the person is too greedy to eat meat, then they would keep on eating it and misuse their money. If they waste all of their money and eventually have no money to buy anything else, then it would force them to kill meat and eat it.
Buddha said that smoking and alcohol is okay to do, but if you do it constantly for a long time, then it is a cause of downfall. Thank you for listening. Thera Saranai.
Itti sondim vikianim purisam vapitadisam issariasmin tapapeti tampara bhavatomukam.
Someone who is an alcoholic and greedy does gambling and eats a lot of meat. If one then is unable to complete necessary activities and then places responsibility and authority on a person after doing such things that damages their mind, this is a cause of downfall. For example, if someone has an important thing to do and gives that responsibility to a person who is incapable of doing such things, they will not be organized or productive. This is bad because the person might have no friends, as he is using people to do what he wants them to do.
Thank you, Diniti and Kaveen Mali. Ittin sondin vikaranin purisan vapitadisan Issariyasmin tapapeti tangbara bhavato mukham. He who places in authority a man given to drinking and squandering, or a woman of similar nature, this is the cause of one's downfall. In other words, if a person who is addicted to sinful deeds is placed in a seat of power, they will gamble away all the wealth, leaving the community poor and desperate. Therefore, we should always have a person worthy of respect as our leader, not someone who will drag us down the treacherous path to one's downfall. Thank you for listening. Thera Saranai.
Dinatu and Manara here?
No.
Right. Anyone else who would like to speak? Right. Okay. Looks like there are no other people. Okay. Again, well done to you all for doing your homework while attending school and doing school homework as well. And your dedication is really appreciated. Whatever information you shared with us are invaluable. We learn from each other. That's a really good thing, having this Dhamma school online. So we will be meeting again next week. The lessons that we are going to learn, we'll discuss with Hamaduru and we'll come to a decision. We'll let you know in the course of next few days what we are going to be learning from next week. So thank you very much again Well done to all of you. I will kindly pass it back to Homage.
Teruvan Saranai Rasikaya. Teruvan Saranai, all the children. I'm very impressed that you all did very well. Some even learned the Gadgata by heart, and they were able to say it without even looking at a piece of paper. That was an excellent way to learn these noble teachings. As I said, that every Buddhas preach this because those are sacred, highly valuable teachings for this life and even life after. So therefore, I am very happy that everybody took part into this program. All work very hard. Now I would like, last few days, we have been given you opportunity to ask any questions that might interested in your everyday life, so that you can get some reflections from Rasikaya or from monks like ourselves, or even from your own brothers and sisters of Dhamma. So any questions, please feel free to ask. You can put your hand or unmute yourself and ask. Yes, Seth.
So I was going to say something that we learned today from the Gata. In the Gata, it said about if we give the responsibility of something to someone who is who has alcohol and is drunk, if you give them any money or give them a responsibility, they might then just spend it on what they like instead of what you gave the responsibility for.
I am glad that you are saying from your own words, and which is wonderful what you said. Yes, very much so. The most important thing in life and the society, even the path of enlightenment, is the trust. The person who engage and then eventually addict into alcohol and even, sensual pleasures, they break the trust. For example, the person who break the third precepts break the trust in between the family. The person who break the last precepts, which is taking alcohol and addictions, break the trust. The person who lies breaks the trust. The word used in Buddhism called saddha. Without saddha, nothing will work. Saddha means the trust. So, as you very rightly mentioned, those things cause directly damage the faith, confidence, trust. Nobody will believe those who are alcoholic. And it damages your brain, your memory, your wisdom. You can't be put into a place of responsibility because your brain doesn't work. I know some people who became alcoholic, miss a huge part, even though they are highly qualified, miss their life, miss the company, lead into ruins of everyone's life. To know this, you would be successful your everyday life as well as spiritual life. I would like to hear from others how they can reply to Seth about that. That is my perspective about it. You can put your hands up or you can unmute and start speaking. Nobody want to say anything about what Seth said about today's Gatha? How do you think in your practical life? What makes it relevant for you? Anything you thought when you were reading or studying or preparing about it? Before I name individually, you got to speak yourself. Yes, Ramin. Thank you for putting your hand up.
We have to practice the 5 precepts.
Exactly. Why? Yes, Ryan, yes, why? You can say why we have to practice 5 precepts.
Because it helps us learn being helpful.
Yes, it helps us to be good people and to count a lot of blessings. It will help to progress, not to downfall or decline. Any others? You can unmute and say before I call your name. Yes, Sanket. Yes.
So Vidun and Vidinya said that if you can smoke and you can drink alcohol but not get addicted, but you're obviously gonna get addicted if you smoke or drink alcohol. So I didn't really understand what that meant. If you just take a little bit, then they're just definitely gonna get addicted.
That's what I like to hear. You are challenging each other. You are coming with creative thinking. A wonderful, Sanket. You asked very good question. Let me, yes, Chanudi, would you like to say something about it?
So what's the point of if you're taking a little bit, you're obviously going to take more. Just like if you eat a chocolate bar, you're not going to take a tiny bit and then throw it in the bin. You're obviously going to eat all of the chocolate bar.
Let me give the opportunity to speak to Vidun and Vidunya. Perhaps Rasika also can explain a little bit, which is a wonderful question. Yes, very good, Sanket.
I actually kind of agree on that point because smoking and alcohol, it is very addictive. And because alcohol appeals to some people like it's very nice, but they don't understand the consequences, they would be addicted and not very well aware of what it could do to you. Nothing? No.
Nah.
Oh, you.
I think Vidun explained it very well. So if one tries to smoke to see how it feels them, and if they like it, they'll get addicted. But if one understands the consequences of consuming alcohol or smoking cigarettes, then they will not even try. So that's very well said, Vidun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, that's a very good question. Any others want to contribute into it? What Sanket and Vidun said. Yes, Tanudi.
To place a woman or a man who is addicted to alcohol and wastes money in a position of responsibility is bound to lead downfall and destruction.
Yes, it leads to destruction. So the Sanket was asking, is that okay to have a little bit, not too much? And what the point? Even if you take little bit, then you can eventually addict into a lot of things. Yes, Hasindu.
I think you shouldn't drink alcohol because even a tiny bit can lead into you doing many other things, like such as squandering your money.
Yes, well
I
done.
remember in a lesson you taught us about a story where a successful king asked the advisor for some alcohol. Then the advisor went and bought many things with the money and told the king that if he asked for alcohol, then this would be what happened. This would be what happened.
Yes, you remember that story very well. Very good. So the king had a very good advisor, and the king did a very big work and wanted to enjoy his life, and said to the advisor, I am been doing very well. I want to make myself a little bit happy. Go and buy a bottle of drink. So that's what naturally happens in everyone's family, you know, for a birthday or maybe after a good successful job or exam or things like that. They want to just to have a little bit. So this advisor was very wise and very kind. He was thinking if he say no, he will dismiss, he will lose the job. It doesn't matter, but king will not get good advice. So he went and not only buy a bottle of drink, he bought meat, he bought women, he bought so many other things. And he was coming with like a perehara procession behind the bottle of alcohol. So the king was surprised and said, I just asked you only to buy a bottle of alcohol. Why you are bringing all of these things? Then this advisor said, King, I wanted to make you understand, if you start from here, you may need all of these things. So I bought all of these things. So the king understood what he was trying to explain and eventually make himself correct, which is a wonderful story. You know, that understanding the consequences. I will give the opportunity to Diniti.
I think that it depends on how much control you have over yourself. So if you have control over yourself, then you won't want to have more of it, and then you can stop being addicted to it. But if you don't have control over yourself, then you will just automatically go to it.
Thank you, Diniti. There you go, Sanket. You got another creative thinking. Yes, about Seth.
Another way that you can like stop it is that you can try not to say if you've done something, try not to think about it anyway. And that also leads to, we're so lucky we have this dumb school, because if we didn't have this, then we would be clueless. And we learned this today. So like if we ever think I'll have a bit of alcohol, we know not to, because we already know the consequence of it. And also, like, one little thing, you don't know how much it could take onto like another bad thing. So like one bad thing makes an addiction, and that addiction goes on to lots of really, really bad things that will happen to you in the future, because once you get addicted to something, you want to try out more things. You need to do it, you do it again, and then the cycle keeps on going on over again. You keep on doing the bad thing, and then it leads on to more bad things. Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. So that goes into the same point of Sanket. What about Methul?
So this is a question. So if Buddha said that if you're addicted to alcohol and meat, you will suffer, But in the 5 precepts, it only says don't drink alcohol, not meat. Why did Buddha not add the meat also to the alcohol part?
That's a very good question. Yeah, I will take that back into once we finish this round of Sanket question. Havishi, what do you want to say, Havishi?
It's actually an answer to Sanket's question, and it only came to me later. So drinking a bit of alcohol or smoking just one cigarette is like a small fire. You might think that it won't do anything because it's tiny, but if you leave it like that and you continue drinking and smoking, thinking that it's nothing, the fire will grow and eventually destroy everything, who you are, all your wealth, your reputation, your family.
That's right. That's right. Very good answer. Yes, Vidun?
Also, it's about the after effects of drinking alcohol. So some of the after effects are like dizziness and slurred speech. But when, so if you are walking and you're supposedly drunk, then you would be walking very oddly, you would be speaking just gibberish, and other people around you would think, oh, that's a drunk person, and think, oh, I should better stay away from them. Then no one would actually like you anymore because you're drunk.
Yes, very good point. Thank you. What about Sanket? What do you want to say? I will before Sanket, let's go to Sadev. Sadev, what do you want to say?
What are the effects that alcohol do to your body?
Yes, so the effects, what it does to your body being explained by all these others. You know, your organ will be failure, you will lose your memory, you will not be trusted, and it is a silent killer in a way. Is that what you want to hear? Yeah, thank you. What Sanket want to say?
But then, so I asked about that question, but then I'm like, also, if grown-ups can drink alcohol, they drink alcohol, but they don't get drunk and stuff. How is that? And how? They just drink one bottle, but they don't get drunk. How? And they're still good people. How is our parents still good people if they just drink one bottle of wine in one day when there's a party?
They are not good. They are very bad. Even though they drink one bottle, they are not good. So what Buddha said is very interesting. You are very good question you asked, that Buddha said that lead into heedlessness, like delay and distraction, that given some sort of implied meaning, indirect meaning, to have a little bit is okay. That is what Vidun tried to say. But it does not mean that. It does not mean to have a little bit okay. Buddha said that you should be avoiding intoxicants, alcohol, that lead into delay, that damage your pamada, which leads into appamada. Majja pama, it is the word being used. Madeta saha pamadeta, that means getting intoxicated and as well as delay in your other activities. So if that leads into that, then Buddha said it should be avoided. Like, you know, the alcohol is coming from brewing fruits and other things. That means high percentage of that brewery is there. Similarly, if you eat too much food, you can get intoxicated. So you should moderate in your eating. So sometimes they use it as, Sanket asked this question about last time as well. You know, some people are completely rejecting alcohol, but alcohol can be used for certain things in proportion. You know, like hand gel. Some religious people refuse to use hand gel because it has alcohol. But alcohol there helps to remove the germs. So therefore, Buddha did not put rigid commandments, but in the course of some requirements, Buddha leaves some space, but people should not be misusing it. Because as Vidun said, it has 100% tendency for addiction. You may start from a drop. Once you put onto your tongue, that would ask for more. So Buddha was very wise in there to say that you got to be careful of that. Yes, Sanket.
But then why does the tongue ask more? Why can't it just stop? And do you mean then most of our parents are just a little bit bad?
Yes, they are a little bit bad. Because in our nature, for example, if you look into nice thing, you want to look it again and again. If you listen into some nice music, you want to listen to it again and again. So for example, games, maybe watching on your maybe mobile, some certain things, game box, that in the human nature, human mind, we have a nature, that's called tanha, craving. Craving can come especially to food, that eventually you get obesity and lot of other problems. Craving can go into those alcohol and things, because in the blood, particularly in the blood Sanket, there is a tendency for these nicotine and things, and eventually that blood asks it for more. So you can't really eventually control it if that become too much. So that is why it is very addictive. It's not normal. It becomes very addictive because of the chemical nature of it.
But then alcohol comes from good things. Like if you take an example from wine, it comes from grapes, and grapes is good for your health. But then how and why did they transform it into alcohol? Why can't they just keep it healthy?
That's what I said. Buddha said that is, in that sense, Buddha said it's okay. That is what Vidun tried to say, in proportion. Like if you get high volume of anything, like even if you take too much of food, rice, then you can get intoxicated. You can't stand, you feel sleepy and things like that. So yes, it's okay in proportion, but if that leads into, like if somebody drink apple juice or grapes juice, that's fine. But if they brew it into a high volume of intensity, then it cross. Therefore, Buddha said, don't go into extremes that are not helpful.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, Vidun, you want to say something?
No, I didn't.
Okay, thank you. So now that going into Methul's question, isn't it? Methul was asking, why did not Buddha put to the 5 precepts not to eat meat? Any answer? Yes, Hasindu?
Is it because this to not eat meat is specifically aimed in this for people who are taking on a higher responsibility? Or well, I think it's because we need to follow the middle path and not go to the extreme. So I'm not going to eat any meat, I'll be vegetarian. Or
eat so much meat that you're slaughtering all the animals. We need to eat some meat, but not too much meat.
That's very good. Thank you. Virul?
I think like how Avishi said, you have to be like middle. So let's say you're like a sport, let's say you're like a football player, cricket player, you kind of need like protein for your body. And I think that's why Buddha didn't really add it to the list, because you kind of need it, but you don't have to eat it like every day, like every like morning, lunch, dinner. You don't have to eat it, but you have to be like middle, like Avishi said.
Yeah, well done. Thank you. But Sat, what you said?
Me?
Yeah.
Also, you can like, how to explain, you can you need to, it's also good that we have also balanced like diets too, because like if we also didn't have that, then we would just say I'll have this like meat, I'll have this, yeah, I'll have this for lunch, dinner. You never have it balanced. Like we need the thing in our life, but don't go to the extreme and have it so much that then you're then you're just killing lots of things. So yeah, that's
Thank
probably
you. Thank you,
why.
sir. Yeah. Well, give the final answer to Sanket, and then we'll do the Rayan also there. We'll do the meditation after that. Yes, Sanket.
So meat is quite important for our lives, because if you have meat, the thing is, we basically eat meat every day, because we basically eat it for lunch and dinner. Basically 99% of the day, 99% chance that we just eat meat for lunch and dinner, basically, because my mom always cooks meat, but she always also cooks vegetables. So you're basically saying I'm bad because I'm eat meat like twice a day.
Yes, thank you. What do you say? Yeah, Rayan. Yes, Rayan.
So if we eat too much, if we do too much alcohol and meaty, nutrition come to your body, you can't help it. You're not being helpful, you're not being responsible. So all you have to do is do a little bit of alcohol and meat, then it will make you helpful, stay in the middle positive, not going up positive or down positive.
Very good. Anything else? Okay.
I was thinking, the children have really thought about these ideas in detail. I would say to everyone that it doesn't matter what it is. If you go after anything too much, it'll become addictive. For example, if you want to eat meat every day, you don't go after it. If you don't go after it, if you learn to eat what you have, living within means, we talked about it today, and not paying too much attention to certain things, will become, your life will become simple. And Hamdru said that today. Be simple. So Sanket said that yeah, your mother is cooking meat every day. You eat that. It is not bad because if you go after it, after mother, where's meat? Where's meat for me today? Where's meat for lunch? Where's meat for dinner? Then it is addictive. If you eat what is in your plate, that's fine. That's being simple. So that's what you have to think about. And being simple and living within means. So if you can eat one day just rice and one vegetable, and if you can enjoy as much as you eat another day meat and 3 more vegetables on another day, if you can enjoy both of those meals equally,
That's good.
then that is called being simple and living within means. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say.
I understood.
So the bottom line is, do not go after what you like too much. If you get it, that's fine, and live with it. Be happy. Whatever you have, be happy with it. That's the bottom line. Thank you very much.
Yes, Vidun, we want to say, as Rasika has said, I know some children, they refuse to eat because they do not have what they want, which is not a good thing. You know, you need to be flexible and learn to eat. It does not mean you should be forced to eat what you don't like, but you should be, because Buddha said is for eating is to survive for our life, to keep our mind alert, not getting weak, not to fattening the body. So eating is to, especially Buddha said to the monks, to reflect when you are eating, not for beautifying, not for fattening, not for just getting the muscles and not for getting all this body strength, but to keep the alertness, wakefulness, surviving it. Even the Buddha asked from 7-year-old boy 10 questions. The first question Buddha asked, because this boy was very enlightened. Buddha asked, what is the main problem in the world? What is the first question? Eka Nama King. Then this boy, who was 7 years old, replied to the Buddha saying, the first problem, Bhante, is the food. Everybody needs the food to survive. If there is no food, nobody will survive. Sabbe satta ahara titika. But the problem is people are eating too much and very demanding in too much. That affects your knowledge, wisdom, and even become very unhealthy person. Yes, Sanket. That's it. Sorry.
What I was going to say was part of what Rasika Mama said in the beginning. I just wanted to say, like, nothing is everything. Like, if you have too much of everything, it becomes an addiction. So my mummy says that to me lots of times. So one day I was just sitting down watching some YouTube videos to help me get faster at my Rubik's Cube. I came across this video where I saw this this person who he was renaming like all of the things you use to solve like a cube, and the next he made another video, and then he said in that video that his doctor saw that video he made, and they had to take out his wisdom tooth because of his knowledge. So I think that also it also means that nothing you should have is like too much. Like also everything should be balanced, and nothing is like it's not good to have too much of everything. And like if you think it's good at like you have lots of knowledge, like if you were to keep on doing that non-stop, it's bad. It's also it's similar to like having alcohol. It's the same concept as that.
Yes, there you go. You will lose your wisdom teeth if you keep having too much of your life. Very good. Yes, Vidun?
It's just that I do have a question. It's why didn't Buddha say in the Parabhu Sutra not to go to extremes? Because that is a bad thing, and some people might not understand why you should not go into extremes. Because to little children, big houses, good cars, those appeal to them. So why wasn't it on a like warning of one of the sutras?
Yes, so that is the main thing in Buddhist teachings. Buddha said the first teaching, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, he explained the middle path. So to explain that, Buddha gave all the teachings to give some case studies, give some points, some sort of other list of things, and everything explaining that. So therefore, he do not have to add that into the Parabhava Sutta again to not to go into extremes. But all these points are explaining that indirectly. Yeah, so what you need to remember that is a concept that is there. So I'm glad that you are referring it into it all the time. Middle path. What is the word used by the Buddha in Pali for the middle path or Sinhala? What is the word used? How do you call in Sinhala or Pali the middle path? You get 2 points if you answer it correctly. Yes, Hasindu? Anybody can say, or Amin, or whoever.
So I didn't hear the question.
Question is, what did Buddha say middle path in Pali or Sinhala? What was the name for that? How do you call middle path in Pali or Sinhala? Yes, Ramin?
Madhyastha.
Madhyastha, well done, nearly there. Anyone else? Yes, Sanket, Seth?
Was it called Madhyama Pratipada?
Well done. Yes. Madhyama Pratipada. Yes, Manuka?
Is it Medum Piliweka?
Medum Pilivada. Excellent. Chanudi?
Madhyama Pratipadawa.
Madhyama Pratipadawa. Well done, Chanudi. Okay, so then we'll practice Madhyam Pratipadawa by practicing few minutes meditation. Yeah.
Now, oh no, I can't go and sit down.
Selecting a comfortable posture. Try to keep the body in the central point, not bending into different sides. Try to bring some balance and uprightness in the body. And make every part of the body relax. Gently closing the eyes, experience the sitting, the posture. Take a gentle breath slowly in and let it circulate in the body. And then calming every part of the body, slowly breathe out. Breathe slowly in. Then circulate the breath into the body just to make every part of the body calm and relax. And then slowly breathe out, relaxing the body. Slowly breathe in. Very, very slowly breathe out. Breathe slowly in. Very, very slowly breathe out. As you do this breathing exercise, learn not to be a slave to your taste buds, whether it is intoxicants, whether it is other foods. Even emotions, anger, or even some other misbehaving natures that you are not developing, instead disciplining. So like you control your breath, slowly breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Like the words, sometimes you just let it split. Let it just slip the words. It's not good. So before you even say, you become very, very contemplative on those words. Otherwise, it becomes akusal through speech. If that is not suitable, if that breaks the hearts, if that is not moral, so like we breathe out, we let it go. We don't say it. Learn this nature of mind, that you are making your mind simple and contentment, being happy with what you have, not developing the greed in your mind. neither the feeding that greed in the mind. You just eat for your survival, to keep your brain and mind alert. Now keep the attention at the tip of the nostrils right above the lips. Notice this more relaxed nature of breath, not shallow or quick breathing. Just you have very calm, very controlled middle path that brings you a lot of balance, calmness, kindness into your mind. Sometimes you may find, even though you keep your eyes closed, your mind works so much and it keeps moving, is busy, making a lot of other things. So like you calm the breath, calm the mind, just let it go by simply experiencing the breath slowly in and the breath slowly out. Today we start the Vesak month, which is our holy month. Determined to practice a bit more meditation, practice a bit more chanting, Vandana, Homage. Practice listening to the Dhamma a bit more. Practice reading the teachings a little bit more. Practice communicating with the monks and respecting the teachers and the parents a bit more. Practice the 5 precepts honestly. And chant few minutes of protection pirit chanting, Set Pirit. Then recollect the qualities of the Buddha. There are 9 qualities. Buddha is Arahan. Arahan means free from defilements. So this month of Vesak, Buddha month, is a great theme to clean our mind from defilements with the blessing of Arahan. Samma Sambuddha means Buddha realized the Four Noble Truths by himself and were able to teach others. So this Samma Sambuddha quality about Four Noble Truths. Vijja Charana Sampanna. Buddha was endowed with knowledges and good conduct. It was not only wise, but he also shows that in his behavior. Eight knowledges and 15 good conducts. Passalos Charana Ashtavidya. Sugata, he is called Sugata because he is calm, is kind, and went into the Nibbana, the Nirvana, supreme bliss. He is also called Loka Vidu, knower of all the worldly system. He's called Satta Deva Manussanam, a teacher to divine as well as humans. Buddha, the Blessed One, because he eliminated all the defilements and blossomed like a lotus. He was born into all these things, but he did not attach, addict into that, like a lotus leaf. If you put a drop of water onto the lotus leaf, it doesn't get stagnated or absorbed, like addict into it. In the same way, we need to practice this quality, not to attach too much, addict too much. And finally, Buddha called Bhagava, the Blessed One, as Buddha eliminated greed, hatred, and ignorance completely from the mind. Let us sit 2 minutes in silent meditation, observing the breath, calming every part of the body. slowly bring our palms jointly together. Slowly open the eyes and let the light slowly come in. I'm very grateful that our children are now practicing meditation very well. They are adopting the good posture sitting, and they are adopting good practice. They are asking good questions. They work hard to do the presentation. We bless you all. Thank you for attending. Also, we are very grateful to our Rasikaya for supporting and Padmanona for supporting these programs. May you all be well and happy. I heard that Vipuliaka was having some difficulties. May those blessings be with her to find the good health and recovery. And finally, our main sponsor of the day today is sponsored by Mrs. Chandra Madagama, together with their family, son Chamat and son Gihan, daughter Kavita, grandson Aryan, and family. May they all be well and happy. Their aspiration today is to transfer the merits to their loving mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, who lived 96 years, very meritorious life. May loving mother, Mrs. Punchi Kumari Hami Ulapani, attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sharing these merits, let us finish our program today by saying 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Wish you a very happy Vesak month and a nice bank holiday Monday, long weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Teruan Saranai Hamadurane and Rasika Mama.
Hondai duala putalas below the Namu Hondai. I'm on the target.
Okay. දැක්කනේ ඔයාලට හොඳක් ඇහුණා. Your work is being monitored by parents and they are happy about what you do. Very good.
Teruan Saranai. Bye-bye.
Teruan Saranai Swaminanse.
Teruan Saranai Chandranana මුළු ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේම සහභාගී වුණාට.
ඒක බොහොම ලස්සනට සිද්ධ වුණා. බොහොම පිං. අම්මත් ඉන්න තැනක ඉඳලා පිං අනුමෝදන් වෙන්න ඇති. බොහොම පිං ස්වාමිනාංශ.
බොහොම පිං අද දායකත්වය ලබා ගත්තට තෙරුවන් සරණයි. සරණයි චන්ද්‍රනෝන තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි හඳුනනේ.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි.